seriously, can Nina get any stupid than she already is? I mean, she sits there, she bails out Valentine. What else? That's a shocker. I didn't see that one coming. Um, yeah, right. I mean, it's possible Valentine could have hired somebody to take Spencer. I really don't see it. For me right now, I don't see him kidnapping Spencer. I really don't think Valentine is that dumb. I just don't see it. Like, you would have to be a arrogant, cocky son of a bitch, knowing everybody's gonna blame you for this, and you still go ahead and hire somebody to kidnap him, or you do it yourself. You are taking a gamble. You're taking a major gamble, and it shows that you're arrogant and you're cocky because you think, oh, I'm gonna get away with it because they have no proof. Okay, I mean that's one way to look at it, but for me, I don't think he had something to do with it. I honestly don't think he did. I mean, I don't see it. Me personally, I could be wrong, but I don't see it. It's like that's not a smart move. Knowing everybody in town knows how much you dislike Spencer, knowing that you went after him before, you would be enemy number one. You're gonna be up here on the suspect list. That's no question. So why risk it? Then you know that you're gonna have to deal with being arrested again, and Charlotte's gonna find out, and all this, that, and the third. So I don't see Valentine really risking all of that, especially when he was confident that the lawsuit was gonna get thrown out anyway. Why would a confident person want to kidnap Spencer just to get rid of the lawsuit? If he did kidnap Spencer or had something to do with Spencer getting kidnapped, I don't think it was because of that lawsuit. It was probably because he wanted some revenge on Spencer for telling Charlotte about him killing Nicholas, allegedly. I think that's what it would be. Because the lawsuit, he wasn't really worried about it. He was a little irritated by it, but he wasn't worried about it. He didn't come off as worried. People to say, oh, he was going to lose a lot of money. There was no guarantee Spencer was going to win that lawsuit. It's a 50% chance, but there's also a 50% chance he will lose. So I don't think Valentine was worried about it. I think he was more pissed about what Spencer said to Charlotte. That's what set him off. It wasn't the lawsuit. It was what Spencer said. But I still don't see him kidnapping Spencer. I think that would be just too obvious and not really creative because everybody in the damn universe would know that Valentine did it. So, and if it came out that he did do it or he hired somebody to do it, it would be uncreative and it would be lazy writing and it wouldn't be quite smart. That's why I don't think he did it. I think it had something to do with somebody else. And what happened today actually proves that point in a way that it couldn't have probably been Valentine. It's a little convenient that Valentine got released from jail and all of a sudden Sonny gets a picture sent to him of Spencer in a basement. They're trying to make it seem like Valentine might have sent that picture to Sonny, even though I don't think he did. I don't think Valentine sent that. And it's going to become quite more clear on Monday. Um, so Sonny going to Jason to handle the Spencer situation. Everybody knew Sonny was gonna run to Jason with this because Sonny's people that he got currently looking for Spencer, we all know they're not gonna yield any results. Of course, you got to bring in Super Jason. Jason is the only person who can solve crimes around here. Yet again, the writers make the PCPD look like shit. As usual. I mean, it's no surprise to me. The writers been doing that shit for 20 years. They've always made the PCPD look like idiots, like they are incompetent. Um, Quite frankly, Sam, I'm over this whole illness that she has. It's getting quite boring. I did like her scenes with Ava. Ava looks fucking horrible. The burns on her. I am so glad that I was not eating when I was watching that scene because I just wouldn't be able to finish my food if I was. I'm just glad. That scene was fucking crazy. Um, but I did like Ava and Sam basically having a little bonding moment. That was kind of nice. I mean, I haven't seen them together in a while, and they are family. Ava's basically drowning her sorrows in martinis and vodka, basically. Which I don't blame her. I mean, shit, she feels like her fucking life is over, but I already know at some point she's gonna bounce back and come back as the fiercest bitch I know. So that's only a matter of when. But I already know the writers are gonna drag this out for a while with Ava, which is normal because you don't just get over burns and stuff that fast, which is, it's normal. But when Ava do gets over this, I want to see her come back fierce, fierce as ever. That's how I want to see Ava. Ava's one of my favorites on this show. She really is. A lot of people dislike Ava or whatever. I love the Ava character. I can't help it. I love it. I think she's a bad bitch. She's the type of chick Claudia Zakara was in a nutshell. You know what I mean? Like she was definitely a blonde Claudia Zakara, and I miss Claudia immensely. Um, One of the best characters they came up with during that time frame around like '08 and stuff. One of the best characters you could, Guzza came up with. Um, Carly is, of course, being Carly, all up in Jocelyn's business. Honestly, I didn't blame Carly for wanting to know about Oscar because, I mean, her daughter's into this kid and Carly needs to know about him. As a parent, you need to know who your kids are associating with. So I can understand that point. I just didn't agree with her in her previous statements about trying to break them up and she didn't want Jocelyn around Oscar. You can't, I mean, I can understand her not wanting Michael with Nell because she knows Nell. She knows Nell's history. That's one thing. But to sit there and condemn Oscar, a kid that you never met before, never met face to face, you never shook hands with, you never, you know, broke bread with, and you're condemning him so far. And it's like you need to take the time to really get to know the boy, because he's not a bad kid from what I see of him. He's not a bad kid. He's going through some similar things in his life that makes it easy for him to relate to Jocelyn. So they bonded over that. So I think Carly needs to sit down with him, like I said in previous videos. She needs to maybe have a little family dinner with him. Get to know him before she prejudges, before she judges. Don't judge a book by its cover. And in this case, she's judging a book and she still hasn't even seen the cover yet, and you're judging. Like, you just need to chillax, get to know the boy. But I'm glad, Jocelyn was opening up to her a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do that. You got to meet halfway. It's the only way to stop the fighting. Um, Nina, I have really no words for. The bitches, I just don't care for Nina. I'm just that person. Like, every time she come on the screen, I don't care for her. I don't care for Nathan. I'm really just sick of seeing the same characters every day. I see Nina, I see Carly, I see Sunny 4 or 5 days out the week. That's too much. Like, let's show some other people. Like, the problem is it's the storylines that they're currently doing. They're a little boring. Like, the only storyline that I'm actually liking right now is Finn and Hayden. Some people call Finn and Hayden boring. I actually like them. That's a real relationship right there. I actually like that. The Spencer kidnapping, I like it, even though it has to involve Nina and Carly and Sunny, but I still like the dynamic of it. Um, I think Laura initially should have went to the WSB maybe and got some help, but I don't know how much they could have done. So on paper, it makes sense for her to go to Sunny, but for me to watch it, I can't stand it that everybody has to go to Sunny and Jason for everything. But I can see it on paper because Sunny, that's his nephew, so it makes sense on paper. I just don't want to see it. But Laura, I loved it today. Laura unleashed hell on Valentine. She finally broke down. She finally released all the anger that she has been suppressing since Nicholas got shot. She's been suppressing a lot of her anger. And when she found out Valentine got bail, it sent her over the edge. And I don't blame her. Like, this son of a bitch shot your son out of a window, allegedly killed him, potentially kidnapped your grandson, and stole your granddaughter from your daughter for years, and yet he's getting away with something else that he potentially could have done. That shit would drive anybody crazy. It would drive anybody fucking nuts. And then on top of that, you got his bitch wife in your face posting bail for him and trying to defend him. And I'm glad she told Nina to shut up. Because Nina does need to shut up. And Nina sitting there talking about, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. Nina, you can never put yourself in Laura's shoes. You haven't gone through 1/10 of what Laura's been through over the years and recently. You don't have a child. You don't have a grandchild. So you can't put yourself in somebody's shoes unless you actually have those things and you went through those things. You didn't go through any of those. You don't have any of those. You don't have a child. You don't have a grandchild. So you can't put yourself in her shoes. You can't even attempt to put yourself in her shoes. You can't fill her shoes. Point blank. So Nina does need to butt out and shut up and stop defending him. Like seriously, you look like a jackass. And I'm being honest. She looks dumb. And somebody needs to talk some sense in her. Like she keeps saying, "Oh, I know Valentine." Know him how? You just met him a year ago. You slept with him the first night you met him. You didn't even know his real name, and you slept with him. So how does that constitute you know him? You didn't know a damn thing about the Chimera from back in the day with him, Alex, and Anna. You didn't know that. Valentine had a whole life before he met her, and they met 1 year ago, and they got married 7 months ago, 6, 7 months ago. What about him? You know him now. You know the person he is right now in front of you. You don't know how he was 20 years ago. You don't know how he was 2 years ago. You just met this fool. So stop saying that you know him when in reality you don't. He kept a lot of secrets from you about his past. You still don't know everything about his past life. He could have a kid running around out there. He could have been married before. You wouldn't even know that. You don't know these things. So stop saying you know somebody when you just met them a year ago and you married him so fast, he never even told you everything about his past. So how does that constitute you knowing him? Why? Because y'all share a bed together or you used to? That doesn't mean you know somebody. What the fuck is wrong with her? Get some common sense, Nina. Stop being naive. Um, I'm glad Laura knocked the hell out of Valentine with that pipe. He deserved it. A good bump in the head. And then Jason came over and choked the shit out of him. I mean, this is all driving Laura to her breaking point, and I don't blame Laura. It's about damn time she unleashed her fury. It's about time. Jason is basically going to interrogate Valentine. So, all in all, pretty good episode, all in all. Laura, she finally let loose, and I liked it.